up and the top is missing. The opposition and all that lane switching. This is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna...
Coach, it's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but we've got football to perk up our spirits. That's the good news. At Paul Brown Stadium, that's where we're at here in Cincinnati. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone. For a touchback.
Let's go now. Check 45. So don't say nothing.
Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Jackson, option right. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence, Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They go play action with Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The sack by Jordan Willis. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Jackson throwing on target to Brown. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 45-yard line. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Jackson, eluding the pressure right. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. 23 yards on the play.
Here we go.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Flush to it. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Brandon Carr there to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Malone. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. So Dalton now. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Kill. Check. First down.
Mixon with a first down carry. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Give him the third down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
The way this game is going, the way that they possess the ball on the other side of the field, you go 3 and out here, you might not see the ball again until the second quarter.
They'll run on first down. Mixon. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Matt Judon there to bring him down. We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And now to the air, Dalton. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 37.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. On first down, Mixon. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That good for 22 and a first down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, wasn't it interesting in our...
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Nick Chubb. 77 yards as they are now on the board here in the first half. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for everyone possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. 16 yards, a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now Joe Mixon. And a across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Throw left side complete. It's Malone. Something we're seeing more of with the rise of the run-pass option. A legal man downfield, and that's going to back him up.
Let's go, D.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Malone.
Young Trip is here, baby. Young Trip is here.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
Heads up, Wade.
Come on, let's
go. 368.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Heads up, Wade.
50 seconds for Mike. You don't want none of that. Pick up the ball.
Check 9.
They'll run with Mixon. Pass it, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Bengals have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and that makes the score 14-7. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Free bud.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson. And that'll be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. This is taken around the 12. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On 2nd down, Mixon, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
That's good for a Bengals first down. First and 10.
We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. But go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A run for Nick Chubb. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. Buying time to his left. Able to locate his running back open downfield. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 42. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Chubb on the counter, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. A new life now following the late turnover. Maybe a chance for points here before the break.
Yeah, pretty nice situation they find themselves in because they're really maybe one completion away from giving their kicker a shot. And that gives them a chance to get some points up on the board.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
15
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 15 yards on the play, first down. Now, that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
He was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Second and 10. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, as the first half is winding down. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Well, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. So we reach halftime. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll stay on the ground, mix it again. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays, have them on the move on first down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Hands up, ladies. Watch
Watch the run. Watch the run. Good shot, baby. That's baby.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The former first-round pick Shane Ray in on the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 15 at the 36-yard line.
Hot. Wait.
Check 41. I got you.
2 by 2. Move. Face up.
On 2nd and 15 now. Dalton. Green's got it over the middle. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limped to the finish line, losing 7 of their last 8. They are happy to have him back and healthy. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Coming this way. Here we go.
Again, it's Mixon. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
40's Mike right there. 40's Mike. Yo.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. For the Bengals, they widen their lead. Bullock good on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check. Lucky.
On the draw, this is Ingram. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Flushed out right. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Fielded at about the 28. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. On the NFL scoreboard, they are in the 3rd now in New Orleans. And the Falcons have moved out in front. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Mixon with it. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Dalton gives to Bernard. And an alley to run. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty. Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day.
Again, it's Mixon. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And Bullock will put this one through, and that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson forced out to his left. Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Bernard. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Giovanni Bernard, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Got one. Check 43.
Check.
What? Go. No. Okay. Hurry.
Jackson, option right. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
Hey, let's get some penetration here.
On 3rd down, Jackson dancing to his left. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
In your face.
They'll go option on 2nd down, right side. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. Does the big boy have the juice? He's at the 30. And he is finally brought down at the Ravens' 26.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Hey, watch it.
They'll run on 1st down. Bernard. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
At the Ravens' 27-yard line.
Hands up. Lead.
57 the mic.
Hands up.
They'll run again with Bernard. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. On third down, Bernard. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Bullock's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This is taken at the 3.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To throw is Jackson. To throw again. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. The big fella. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken at his 4. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end? And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Carlos Dunlap able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They go play action now. Jackson under pressure again, and down he goes again. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. On the carry, it's Chubb, and able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, 4th down now.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense help the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. Thank goodness, that means this next drive is going to begin first and goal already at the 5-yard line.
Dalton on the keeper. It's a loss of 1. Brings up second.
Now from the 7, here's second and goal.
Let's go.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bengals, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. They will hit the road next week for a date with the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.